How's everyone doing this evening? Welcome. We are here with TEXAN Tailgate, episode 22, here to talk about unlocking global generosity and how DeFi unchains the captives and sets them free. We got quite a lot of things to get into tonight, but without any further ado, just going to go ahead and bring on our guests. We got David Lee here tonight.
Thanks,
And
Robert.
hey, Dave. And we've also got Forrest.
What?
What?
What's up? Dang, what?
So good to
Wow,
see you,
Forrest,
man.
you look really good for where you've been for the last couple weeks.
I've been in the basement, bro. I've been underground, right? I think that's what most people say. I've been underground, but I was visiting with Robert. I mean, it took me a little while to figure out how to get out of a straitjacket, but I got it taken care of. Just a little one of these, a little Houdini, and then boom, poof, I'm here. Dude, it's good to be back, man. Like I'm glad to be sitting in this seat, this new fashion seat, so to speak. It's really cool to be here. So yeah, man. Great job, Robert. Everything's been freaking awesome. I think everything's looking good, dude. So I think that you guys have held the fort down immaculately. I'm just
No,
happy to be here.
no, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Of course, the more that we do this, the better we get at it. And real quick, just want to acknowledge chat real quick. We got My Online Ghost. We got Samantha. Good evening, y'all. We got Godfather J6. We got Drix in the house. Always good to see you,
Bricks!
sir. Yeah. Got Mr. Rock Jockey. So just always, and oh, good to see you, Forrest. So you definitely got some people that are happy to see you here. So,
Yo
um,
yo.
and we got Logan's
Logan.
Run. So yeah, he was on our show last week as our
Oh,
special surprise guest. So that was,
no way.
yeah, that
Yes,
was really
you missed Logan.
Yo, I am Logan. You're here in the chat, bro. I'm so sorry that I wasn't on there last week, man. I would have loved. I want to chop it up with you regardless. At some point in time, we'll have to get on the call, man. Like that sounds awesome, dude. Freaking
It was
cool.
awesome.
You
and
got
oh my, we got one more guest sitting here backstage. So we got Facing Reality.
Good
Oh,
evening. I almost forgot
oh.
because of Rex space. So, ships. But I'm here.
yo, coffee in hand, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, you
Exactly.
got forced out of prison. Yeah, so I guess somebody finally decided to pay the ransom, or they got a pair of bolt cutters and they just decided to, release him. So usually, once somebody goes down there, it's a one-way trip. They're not coming
Mm,
back. So, but it is good to see you, Forrest, and
likewise.
uh, great to have you on here, David, and Facing Reality. Just love coming together and putting these putting this content together. So um and yeah, that's so tonight, I mean, the
Hey,
main
Robert.
overall. Sure.
Man, before we get into the hope and the all the positivity that comes with true DeFi, I got some sad news that I need to share with the family, and Dan Armour, a great Texan, great man, husband and father. Daphne Armour's husband passed away today. I just like to ask you all to say a prayer for him and have a moment of silence. Appreciate you. God bless you, Dan and Daphne. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, David, and that's our our hearts, our thoughts, our prayers, our condolences goes out to all the friends and family, all the people who were impacted and knew these great, incredible men. And unfortunately, it's sad when we, come to this crossroad in our lives, and all we can do is just, offer up our support and take what impacted us the most from these people. So thank you very much, David.
Thank you, Robert.
Anytime. And yeah, it's it is one of these things, as we, we partnered with so many, people out here in the crypto space. And, when you spend a lot of time, working with people from all walks of life, it doesn't take long for, for them to feel like family. And, you really, feel that, that impact, when they're not there with us. And
Dan would appreciate this. I met him on the Texan tour. He was at every stop with Daphne, and I got to know him, and he was very excited about the TNM, Texit, learning about digital assets and the future. So this is a good segue into those things about the community. Those people that are in chat right now that are always there. God bless you guys too. Thank you so much.
Facts. Everybody here who shows up, man. Big support from you guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's nobody can do this alone, and it's I'm just thankful that we have such an amazing team and founders and people that we work with every single day in this space. And it's really impactful. I did a lot of thinking when it came to like episode 22. And, being in Texan, we have the 22-year endowment smart contract, but, 22 is a number, it is a master number. You can't flip it to make a different number, but it essentially represents balance, practicality, insight, courage. Like there's so many symbolic meanings for the number 22. And I believe it was Matt. I think he's been in the fundraising for charities for the last 22 years. So there's so much symbolism. Yeah, exactly, Logan, master builder number. So, whenever we talk about unlocking global generosity and, DeFi, unchaining the captives and setting them free, like to me, when I think of setting the captives free, we're obviously talking about traditional legacy finance, which we hear that word all the time. It's thrown all over the place. But when we focus on the word legacy itself, whose actual legacy is it? Is it our legacy? Is it to our benefit? Is it to our kids' benefit, our grandkids? So, the thing about it is the importance and significance of having alternatives and building digital nations, so that we don't have to continue these same cycles. Because most people, including myself, for the longest time, all I've ever known was like 401ks, IRAs, Social Security, which that has been projected to theoretically run out by 2035. We'll see if that happens or not. But it's just getting to a point where it's like you look to your government and you look to these corporations and you think that they have it all figured out, it's all structured, and that if you just play the game of life, the game of Monopoly, that we're going to be okay by the time we get to Boardwalk Avenue and we try to pass go. But what we find out is that the systems were never created to enrich us or help us. And just I just want to go around the panel. We can start with Forrest and work our way back. What does unchaining the captives look like to you?
Unchaining the captives would be setting people free of consumer and debt slavery. I think we've all heard Matt at some point in time say that, as well as like echoing prior iterations of what Richard Hart said. I think that that's true. I think that unchaining the captives also, for me personally, I'm coming from like the artist, the artsy fuck background, so to speak. What I see it as is freedom of speech, as so I can compel a listener to hear the words that are coming out of my mouth. And for them to be fixated in a subject that might mean something to me, and I want someone else to feel the same thing, so I might write it, right? So unchaining a captive, we can think of it as like a literal term as far as like verbiage goes. uh the verbiage can go so far, but unchaining the captives also means money, right? Like, so like this is like a multiple angle kind of thing for me. I'm thinking like maybe I don't have to worry about this debt that I owe to Joe Schmo over here who's trying to charge me taxes on something I already paid taxes on, and I'm selling it now to another party, a private party, mind you. But in order for me to do that, I have to pay a sales tax myself also. So I believe that that is a form of captivity. I believe that's a form of slavery. It's a vicious cycle, and a lot of times we see folks go into debt to take out debt on their debt, and then they find themselves buried in the trenches. Whereas I think that unchaining the captives would alleviate or elevate, rather, their situation and move them into a place of prosperity. I think that prosperity is the word that I would focus on. I think that that's what it means to me. Um, Myself, while I've been away, I definitely appreciate people saying good to see you back and everything. What I've been doing is I've been grinding, like I've been doubling up, right? Like I run a business. I've been operating my business on all cylinders. I've been working in addition to my business on all cylinders. So I am trying to currently unchain myself. So for me, the reason that I originally looked at Texan as like a strong contender in the arena was they kind of just like kicked dirt, right? Like kick up. There was an Eminem rhyme. It was like kick up dust, cuss till I slur up spit, right? Like there's it had attitude, and like the attitude is what I care about. I want to have an option. I want to have the ability to fight back. I want to have the, and maybe not fight. That's maybe a more violent term. Maybe I just want to push back, right? Like I think that's Matt saying, push back on authoritarianism and everything else. Maybe we just want the ability to shine our own artistic freedom through words or through normal speech in politics or in anything else. Like, I mean, this is a super loaded question for me, and I could probably go on about it for days. But in jest, for me personally, unchaining the captives means lifting the blanket off of what is muffling us currently in this day. Because I can think back 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, and this same muffled snout piece that is currently placed upon the people wasn't there. And there have been times of success in between, and there have been times of success prior. And if you look back far enough in history, you see where there was full force censorship of color, of verse, of whatever you wanted to say of politics. And I think now we are getting back in alignment with that, and I'm not a fan of it. So ultimately, long story short, everybody, sorry for talking your ear off. I believe that unchaining the captives means to be set free, right? Like that's what it truly means. It means to be set free. So imagine like hammering down some spikes on a railroad and someone gives you one chance. What do? Do you run, and where are you going to run? Are you going to run to the successes that you've envisioned and daydreamed about in the day to day while you've been captive, or are you gonna rest aside and wait for a master to tell you what to do? That's what it means to me.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Forrest. That sometimes these questions can be, kind of loaded. They can just bring out the passion. So I really appreciate that. David Lee.
Yeah, I'm going to have to start with kind of what I believe is the stealth utility of this community, and it stems from the founders. So shout out to Crypto Heartbeat and Rags to Riches. Special shout out to Matt today. This is his 23rd anniversary since he accepted his calling from the Lord, and I when I think of unchaining the captives and what that means, it comes from the culture that Matt has instilled, and it's unchaining the captives to unlock global generosity, and what that means. It's kind of been a journey, right? But instead of the system of the world that is based in scarcity and fear and hate, it's trying to usher in a world that's of the kingdom, which is love and abundance and compassion. And I really think that that's, for me, that's that 22. It's all about Matt Frazier and the guy that saw Richard Hart do a donation and raise $27.5 million, and then inspired him and Rags to do the first endowment contract on the blockchain that adds, that will add other communities. And Mission 22 and the Facebook page and the Discord and the Texan Telegram, and now with Ophir, you see a community that is building around these ideas. And that's where the strength and that stealth utility comes out. It's not just about buy and hold or buy and stake and, up and to the right. This is a community with a heart and a soul and a brain with a vision. And I just want to say happy birthday, Matt. And thank you. And everyone else in this community, you're the best of the best. And it's because you share those ideas and those principles with that moral foundation that will keep us going for, well, long after I'm still here. But yeah, that's what I think about when it's coming to unchaining the captives, that why you'll see me put those reminders. Those daily reminders.
Awesome. And that is really what we need oftentimes, is daily reminders of, what we're working towards, what the end goal is. And I mean, it's just very well said, David. Facing reality, man. How are you
Good
doing?
evening. I'm doing good. We had a lot of rain a couple of days, so had to experience that one. So yeah, no, doing good, man. And how can I add something to what Forrest and David Lee already said? It's true. It's a loaded question, and it's something that you just keep rehashing. And the irony is that we shouldn't even be captive in the first place. And David Lee said it really beautiful that when you change it, that nature takes over. And the generosity thing is something that is in our nature. It's not something that you have to be taught. A child doesn't know hate. A child doesn't know all these things. It's all learned. So yeah, it's so loaded, and it can be answered in so many different emotions. And yeah, just let nature go and let us do our thing. Just leave us alone. That's what I
Yeah.
know. Just leave us alone. Just
Oh,
let me
oh,
decide over my own life. It would be amazing.
absolutely.
Awesome, dude.
Amen. Yeah, the human heart was not made for captivity. And the biggest problem that I've always seen in this life is when one group of people is just determined to control and oppress another group of people, and it just creates an endless cycle of strife and conflict. So we do have Samantha. How are you doing?
Hey, good evening, everyone.
Samantha!
Good
Hi.
evening.
I just wanted to jump
Good
on for a
to
few
have you.
minutes and say hi to everyone.
No,
It's good to
thank you
see
so
you.
much.
Good to see all of you. Good to see you back, Forrest. I was super excited when I saw you pop up. Nice
Yeah.
to have you.
I mean, you could have just hollered at Robert and told him to let me free, and I could have been let loose anytime.
He was asking too much for the ransom. We're in the middle of a bear market.
Well,
I was gonna get you out eventually.
He's
I
on the
mean,
first step of the ladder.
I gotta do what I gotta do. I mean, I need money to DCA into crypto, and it's like, you know what, tough times call for tough measures, and I thought it was effective, but nobody felt the desire to send any funds in. So
Hey, I gotta say, Academaciated. I want to say, like back a few episodes ago, I did watch in while I was at the office, and I was like, "Wait a second." He said, "I'm worth a 15-year in stake." I was like, "Yes, I made it, guys! I've made it."
I remember seeing that.
It was pretty awesome. So thank you. Shout out to Academaciated. Appreciate you.
Man, I think Logan made an offer too. But I don't think it was, I don't think it was big enough quite for Robert's taste. But
Could you imagine ending your first 15-year stake?
That's crazy.
Do you
looking
cry,
forward.
laugh, or what? What do you do?
look at the
I
gas
don't know.
first.
I probably won't, but I mean, going off the assumption that everything is still going fine and dandy and it still exists, I think people will not believe the numbers that you could see in the future, especially on 15-year stakes with all that yield. If you go through it, because the bounties that we get on the T-shares will only ratchet up, especially with all the ESSs that will only ratchet up more and more. The more the price will go up, the higher the payouts we will see in the future. So if you can sit through that 15 years or 12 years for some of us, damn. Looking forward to that one. Same for Texan. That's 22 years. So.
Whoa! I'm gonna be an old man. You're gonna be seeing me throwing my cane, partying over here, dog. I'll be throwing it down in 22 years.
Even my kids are almost my age by then. Golly.
Yeah, it's crazy. Dude.
It's for my grandkids.
Yeah. I mean, if we were able to wait, 2.5 years for Pulse Chain, I mean, just imagine, the things to come, in the years that are ahead of us. And we've got so many great things that are, coming down the pipeline. I mean, we've got the Pulse Chain Tour. I think Brandon just said that he got through with the one, I think it was in Charlotte. And then there's another one next week in Atlanta. So I've never been to a Pulse Chain Tour. This will be my very first one, but has anybody on the panel or in the audience has anybody been to one? Like
the X Tour, yes, not Pulse Chain. And
dude, you're gonna love it. Meeting the people, and you feel the excitement, and you come away inspired and energized. It's a fantastic experience, and you can give a lot of people hugs.
Yes,
you can. Yeah. You don't have to.
You don't have to.
Yeah, no, it's always nice to be able to meet people in real life, because I know a lot of times our interaction is solely like online or Zoom or StreamYard, and it just makes it so much more meaningful when you actually get to, spend time with these people and see them up close. And it's like, hey, I'm that crazy guy that's always talking about crazy stuff, but I show up every day and I'm helping you. And, so it's, I'm really looking forward to it. I definitely want to take a lot of photos and videos if I can, and just kind of share that experience, because we also have TEXACON, which is coming up November 9th through the 12th in Waco, Texas. So that is going to be really exciting, especially as we get closer to that. But one of the things, I was listening to Brandon talk on one of his streams, especially, a lot of people, the general consensus for most people in the bear market is usually like, hey, when green candles, when moon. And, he dropped something that it was actually, I think, on the stream with Crypto Heartbeat, if I recall, where building community is actually, one of the most important core fundamental things you can do for any project or ecosystem, because once you really build your community, everything else just sort of falls into place. So, uh, what's everybody's take on that? Because we've got a lot of time between now and when this bear market is going to end. And I personally just think that the best way to get through it is to just focus on the positives and be like in a state of gratitude and be thankful for what we do have, be thankful for one another, and just take a look at all the amazing people and teams out there that are building things. So, I mean, it's it's really just a matter of perspective, you know.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the perspective definitely matters. And when I joined Hex, I had no idea there was even a Hex community. Like, I got into crypto through Logan, and I started watching like Richard Hart videos and things like that. And then I asked him about other YouTubers so I could just learn more. But when I initially started, I had no idea that the Hex community was even a thing. It wasn't probably until a year of me being into Hex where I joined Twitter and I realized like how expansive it was. And it really does make a big difference. I mean, it kind of depends on who you follow, whether it's like a positive or negative influence. But I always try and, surround my social media and just life in general with the positive people. But it makes, like anything, like the bear market, for example, when you're going through hard times, it's always great if you have, great people there with you and y'all can support each other. And like you said, focus on the positive things. So I'm really excited. I was really excited when I learned about the Hex community, and I mean, just really how many great people there are in there. So I think having the community makes a big impact on it overall.
Absolutely. And when I got onboarded into crypto around the same time you did, it was just during a weird time where things in the world were kind of, a little weird. And, Facebook was just not the best platform to be because, it's just constant, conflict. And then when I discovered that the crypto community, was like they live on Twitter, I left Facebook and I just got on Twitter, and that's where I got exposed to all these different things. And originally, I got on there just to follow Richard Hart. Then I ended up following another guy, another person, another person. Then pretty soon, it's like
Ethereum
you're.
side, the collateral goes to 100.
But no, it's really amazing, where our journey takes us, and it's one of the best things. It's been life changing for me as well as so many other people, and I think it's great how we can all just collectively come together and we can, decree our labor in terms of, what we want out of this life, because the only way out of these systems, is going to be to create a better one for ourselves.
Mhm.
And, otherwise, if we keep doing the same thing that we're doing, we're going to stay chained to these legacy systems from birth to death. And, it's just gotten to a point where we have to take that power and put it back in our own hands, and we have to be responsible. You can't just leave things to other people to, manage for you. So,
And it's wonderful that you can partner up with, charities that have a mission statement and a purpose, and you can share that vision to make positive change in the world. It is it is something else. Who would have thought they'd have been doing this 2 years ago, right?
oh, absolutely. And one of the other things that I've been thinking about is, when it comes to unlocking global generosity and unchaining the captives, is I really feel like the Pulse Promise is going to have a big part to play in this. And, that is just such an amazing thing, because, I really feel, Matt, did get inspiration from, the 27 million being raised from the Sens Foundation, and there's going to be so many things that we're going to be empowered to do and change people's lives for the better. And the tokenizing of other communities is what I find most special about Texan is we're looking beyond our future, our success. We want other people to win and succeed too, which I think is key. It's great if we're winning, but if everybody is not winning, then we're just not winning. So
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I think the original question was about like, is it community correct? Is that right?
yeah, I got off track.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Like, I just wanted to make sure I was like talking on the right topic. Like, shout outs Vibra Finance. Thank you for joining, and I see you hopping in there now.
Hey, bro.
I would bring up this recent tweet from Gary. Okay, like this is any. I don't mean anything by this. I just want to bring it up because I thought that this at least struck a chord with me while I was like voyeuring into the crypto Twitter world. That says Max Payne. This is not what I was trying to show you. What the heck? See, that's what you guys been really missing. You've been missing me messing up. That's the only thing this show's been missing. All right, here we go. It says, hot take. Y'all spend too much time saying the same things to the same people. And you know what? Damn if I don't agree.
Boom.
If I don't agree, and that isn't the biggest bomb on everybody's head who keeps on shouting the same exact narrative from the exact same mouthpieces that happened before them, then I don't know what else is. I think that Gary has that pegged. I think that that's true. I think that people in general in crypto Twitter, like all across the entirety of it, will repeat and parrot and then refurbish and then recreate the same exact thing and say it 1,000 different ways without coming up with an original thought and without the question that we are talking about right now, which is the most important question. Like, how do you build community? The truth is there's very simple ways to build community. One is trust. Trust. How do you build trust in a community? How do you build trust in people? What do you guys do whenever you build trust in people? How do you know you're trying to build trust with a lasting relationship? These are the actual questions. The questions that we have to ask ourselves are, how do I not only gain someone's trust, but that's a very like taking mentality. The better mentality, the better and the more flourishing mentality is, what can I give? What can I give free of self, free of like everything? With no expectation of anything, of any kind of drop, of any kind of dollar bills. I don't want anything. But what can I give that can empower you, and you? And if I can do that, and I can do that repetitively, and I continue to bring value every single day, every single week, and I am just on fire, firing on all cylinders, and I find other people who are able to give and deliver these things that mean something, that aren't just a hot take from someone else, from Forrest talking about Gary from Funding Jim. I'm talking about like, let's how can I be a better person? Think back old school Richard Hart. Like, how could you be better if you quit playing video games? How could you be better if you quit doing X, Y, and Z? If I can improve your life and I can improve it consistently, and we as a group of people who have come together because of that initial trait continue to do that with no expectation. I don't want nothing from you. You don't have to like, you don't have to comment, you don't have to subscribe. Rags to riches, nod to you. I remember when you were at my house and you came up with that. So shout outs to him. This is what I would say is community driven prospects have so much more power, because now we are dealing with the exact opposite. Like, now we're 91.8% on crypto bubbles down in Hex. It sucks. It's the worst, right? But you know what still exists? There is an underlying community. And the people who continue to hype each other up and continue to bring each other value. And that value doesn't come from parroting the other person. The value comes from providing your own perspective. So that's my take. And it's a very passionate take. I've had a lot of time to think about this. I've been gone for 3 weeks because I didn't want to deal with crypto Twitter. So that's my take.
Giving me chills, and it's not from being in Robert's pit.
You should see what I got.
When I hit it big, I want to come hang out with you in your basement. I, I just love like the idea of having like an underground storage, like prepper type area. For me, it's more of like prepping, but
You need a real root cellar.
Well, if you got money, look into Atlas Survival Shelters. It's in Texas.
oh yeah. Yeah, and real quick, I mean, when it comes to building community, the best way that I've found to establish trust with people is just being who you say you are, being genuine, being authentic, being true to your word, doing what you say you're going to do, and providing people with something that gives them utility, something that gives them value, something that they will use, and you're not expecting anything back in return from them. You want the very best from them or for them, I should say. And that is what I feel is like the key to building community because, without a community, you you don't have anything. Like you need employees to make a company. Uh you need a staff, a team of people to do things, like in a military unit, you need a staff of people in a hospital working together to be able to provide services because there's some things that can only be produced through the collaboration of working together with one another. So some things we can make material-wise, and some things we have to actually work and coordinate with other people to make the magic happen. But uh, Samantha, what's going on?
What's up? I already spoke about community. I
Okay,
gave my take.
all good. And I see another guest in the backstage. So
What I loved about the community meetups is that there's no
Boo! Sorry, not you face
yo,
the
what up?
reality. I saw Brandon and I was trying to holler at him.
Yeah, there's no ice to break. You never got into an awkward feeling or an awkward situation. It's even better than going to, let's say, what is it, a birthday. You always have those awkward moments. You always have that family member that you only see once every blue moon. With the meetups, it's just one big happy family. You never met each other, but you have something in common, and that instantly breaks all the ice and all. I loved it. I would
Where
love
was
to
the
do more.
meetup at that you went to?
I went to Albany. It was in
Cool.
November 21.
Very cool. Was it
That
a
was
good turnout?
Yes. Yeah, that was a really good one. One of the better ones.
Nice.
I think the biggest one was in Texas, wasn't it? Houston was, or which one was the biggest one? Can't remember.
It hasn't happened yet. It's coming up soon.
Let's go.
how's it going, Brandon?
Yeah, it's going good, guys. How's life?
Good. How was the space? I had to end early.
Oh, dude, that space turned up, man. I mean, that was good. We Moon King came in. IDB was there. Then like 150, 160 people showed up.
Hey,
Sweet
Quinn.
on the first week of NFL.
Yeah,
Yes.
Quinn was complaining to me in my DMs that maybe we should do it on Saturday night instead of Sunday night because she
Let's
wants
go
to watch
Cowboys.
football. I'm a Cowboys fan. I am. I got Dak right now crushing it, I think. I hope so. Is he crushing it, Quinn?
You're crushing it.
All right, good. That's what I like to hear.
26-0.
Dang.
For the record, I never root for the Cowboys.
Well,
We didn't ask you first.
It's fine. It's fine. I just wanted to make sure it was apparent because I know that the Columbus Day is coming around the corner.
genocide. It does. I mean, it doesn't matter, dude. Come on.
I root for the Texans.
Yeah. So yesterday was good, folks. We had a good conversation at the meetup, and it was good for me too because I think there's going to be a lot of people in Atlanta, so it'll be a good opportunity. Yeah, Robert's been plotting my death for 18 months now.
He has just the spot. It was beside where I was buried.
If anything, you count on Robert on being your bodyguard. Not that
Okay.
you would need one,
All
but
right. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
if anything
me as
goes
his
down,
backup.
let him.
Think of the ransom on rags.
That's too early in the stakes.
It's got to be at least one 22-year in-stake worth.
at least one. At least one.
But no,
But-
I'm looking forward to coming to Atlanta, getting to see everybody, and this is going to be my first Pulse Chain tour. So
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of you guys, man. That's cool. That's very important, and it's just not something that we've gotten around to yet. But I want to do more of it. Unless you live west of the Mississippi, then I don't really care about you at all whatsoever. Now, facing reality, you could be west of the Mississippi or east of the Mississippi, depending on your Earth view.
Yeah,
Just to let you
exactly. Yep.
I actually had to look up Portugal the other day and see where it was on the map, and I just felt
No.
I'm like, yeah, no, I did, and I was like, oh, it's right next to Spain. That's where
It's
that's where
between
facing
Spain and
reality.
the Atlantic, isn't it?
The
Yeah.
Iberian Peninsula, south of the Pyrenees, on the Bay of Biscayne and the Atlantic Ocean, and yeah.
All right, David.
Dang. Dang. I wish you would have been my history teacher and like geography teacher.
David, I asked you where Kroger was, and you couldn't tell me that. But you should do this. What the heck, dude? So, guys, the Twitter Spaces are doing well, man. These past two
yeah.
Twitter Spaces, it's great. And dude, IDB has been pivotal in making those discussions very good as well. So I'll shout out from the Texan crew. No, this doesn't make you a Texan IDB. I'm just giving you props where they should be going, and you're helping out quite a bit. And it's not even about Texan in those spaces. It's just about freaking conversation, like legit adult conversation, keeping all the riffraff out, and we did that. And I'm proud of everybody that participated. Stoked about it. So good. We'll keep it up. We'll keep doing it. And who even came up with the idea for Twitter Spaces on Sunday nights?
Must have been Quinn.
You did,
I didn't.
or I did.
There you go. Good stuff. So,
Perfect stuff.
yeah, man. Learning a lot about a lot. And got to hang out with RG3. That was cool. We we went to a hip hop concert.
What?
Yeah,
Who?
LL Cool J.
What?
No way.
Old school.
With RG3?
They keep spinning
Dude,
books
that was-
alive.
It was me,
You put him on your
RG3.
shoulders?
If he's I told him I wouldn't tell anybody, but so it was LL Cool J. It was and then a bunch of other people doing like covers of 50 Cent, Missy Elliott, and doing covers of Ludacris. Who else was there? Oh, the Roots were there. Okay, that was kind of cool.
That's super dope.
DJ Jazzy Jeff was there.
Oh my god. Hello.
From
Cool
wait a
J.
second. From Fresh Prince of Bel Air?
Dude, he's a bad hat. Dude, he is the DJ.
Nice.
Did you give him one of those, dude? Did you give him one of those?
Get his autograph?
I Need Love on LL Cool J was my first 45.
Ooh.
Dude, it was wild, man. The place was surprisingly, it was a bunch of geriatric guys putting on a concert, but it was cool. I mean, he was buff.
That's
The
cool.
dude was ripped. Yeah.
I would like to go to that.
Who else was there, dude? There's a lot of people there, man. A lot of people there. So it was fun. It was a good time. We were dancing. Well, I use that term loosely, obviously, but we were having a good time.
I liked the suit plus the
Rhythmic
hat
movement.
combo, to be honest. I thought that was a good look.
Yeah.
On
yeah.
stage, like in the photographs, it looks pretty awesome, dude. Like I don't know what it looked like in person, but like it was freaking awesome online.
It was a gamble. you know, and I just decided at the last minute, I said, let's just go for the glory, guys. Let's just put the hat on and see what happens with the suit and tie. And it worked out, man. It worked out. So last time I wore those shoes was like for my wedding. So we dusted off the old shoes and put them back on. So it was good. Good. Actually, I'm gonna tell you guys who was here at this show because it was crazy actually. No, where was it? We were in Charlotte. That's right, not Greensboro. Charlotte, LL Cool J. Let's see. Who was it? Yeah, and it was everybody was working together, so it wasn't like individual acts per se. They were all playing together. Yeah, DJ Jazzy Jeff Rakim was there, jamming out. LL Cool J, The Roots, bunch of folks, man. It was good stuff. De La Soul was there. Juvenile was there. Redman, Z Trip, the DJ.
What?
It was wild, dude.
That's
I'm telling you, it was
Yeah,
a
I'm
cool. It was a
jealous.
cool. Yeah, it was.
Were
good.
they all in wheelchairs or?
Oh, so that's everyone I grew up with.
Pretty much. I mean, they had to come out in different clothes every 5 seconds because they were soaked top to bottom. But the Roots, they were jamming out the whole time. They're providing background and yeah, dude, it was high energy. It was a good time, man.
What kind of venue?
What?
What kind of venue was it?
It was where the Charlotte Hornets play.
Oh, dang. An arena.
Yeah, it was the arena. Yeah. So I got some pictures. There. So it was good. Fire.
Your beard's coming in good, bro.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Look
Dude,
at this thing. I've been
that
feeding
thing's
it nutrients.
powerful, bro.
Yeah.
That thing is nice.
It's now photosynthesizing, so it's vegan.
Insane.
on camera, it looks like you literally have fire coming out of your face. It's freaking awesome, dude.
And guys, you look at, I mean, it's legit. So I didn't realize this. When you use beard oil, it makes it brighter. Like, you know, when you you take oil and you put it on like old leather and it shines it up. It's the same thing with your beard, dude. You take some. I got this oil, dude. I put it on. It's like, it's just.
It's like what?
Yeah.
By beard oil, you mean orange Kool-Aid packets?
Don't worry, Tang. It's a little tangy.
It's a little bit of Tang, dog.
It's a cocktail. Guys. It's Tang's included. So,
you know what happens when I put beard oil on my face?
What happens?
My face just gets slick, bro. That's all that happens. That's it.
Oh gosh. Yeah, this thing. I had no idea that it would actually grow in like this. So I'm pretty thankful. And I found a new barberia. So Forrest over on Williamson Road. These dudes do not speak a lick of English.
Yeah.
And do they rock it? And it's only $25 and they take an hour to work on you, dude.
No
they are extremely thorough. I'm not going anywhere else but those guys from now on. So just to let you know.
Facts.
Attention to detail on that is everything.
No, dude, he edged me up with a straight razor on my neck, on my beard. He took 5 minutes to get the individual beard hairs from my upper lip with clippers, with scissors. Doink, doink,
Yeah.
doink, doink, doink.
Did they do the what is it called? Whenever they you girls are gonna have to help me out. I don't know what it's called. Whenever they lace your eyebrows.
Oh,
what is that
those
called?
things.
Threading.
Oh, the threading, yeah.
That looks like it hurts.
I've never gotten it.
I've done it one time. Let me be honest on camera again here. God, I've been honest on camera too many times. But
When I get my Friday night pedicure, I could ask.
yo, you should have seen the acrylic inlays they laid on me last time for my guitar, bro. Yeah. No, I have done acrylic on my nails for finger picking guitar, and I've done threading one time based on my sister's suggestion. Rest her soul, because I about took her out after that. But it hurts. Don't do it. That's the PSA. That's
Tell
all
them
I gotta
about
say about
the Colombian coffee enema that you were telling me about last week.
Ooh, yes,
that was good.
Colombian coffee enema. So yeah, if you just want to take like a little bit of if you want to get a little bit of coffee, you know, and get a little bit hypey, you know.
You sound like Theo Vaughn right now. You sound like get a little coffee right now, get a little hype, you know, man. Just put that in there and man, just ride the wave, man. Ride the wave.
I ain't saying it's number 1, but I ain't saying it ain't number 2.
That sounds like an acquired taste.
It could be. That might just be extra dark. You know what I'm saying?
That's what he would say.
Sounds too dark for me. And I'm pretty dark. I'm pretty open about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you want to get hype, that's the one-way ticket to freedom, I guess. That's what they say. I heard about.
What?
All right. So while we're on that weird-ass conversation topic,
welcome back, Forrest. Welcome back.
Yes. While I was I've been following this dude who's nasty on the rapids. All right, he's a kayaker. He just tears it up across the world, does whitewater rapids, and his tag is Boof Stroke. Okay. Well, that led me down a road of looking for him after I didn't have him as a friend on a different social media account.
Okay.
Do not look up the first part of his name.
Boof?
The B-O-O-F part means something completely different.
Oh.
Yo.
Dude, share your screen for us. Go ahead.
You can boof Colombian coffee, bro. That's all I'm trying to say.
Oh.
You can
so it's a verb.
Yeah, there's like a shelf, right? Like if you just imagine like there's books, right? There's books and they're in the way, but like there's a shelf beyond the books. That's where the stuff goes in boofing, right?
Okay,
we're done.
Moving on.
Yep, you're welcome. We went down here. We went down there.
David's he's like that meme. The dude's sweating. He's like, gotta look it up. Gotta look it up.
I anticipated. Forrest, you can go back in the basement now.
Again, I don't think it was as weird when you were gone, but I mean, now that you're back, I appreciate that extra unique flavor. You're just drizzling all over, like overshare.
I love the choice of adjectives that you use, bro. Yeah, there's flavor and there's juice, and it's Colombian flavored.
Cryptocurrency.
Yo, cryptocurrency, right? Like, what is that?
We're talking about juices flowing over here.
All right, so what gets my juices flowing is looking at the charts recently.
Well done.
What's happening with all right, let me ask you guys about a couple of things that I'm unaware of, okay? Because like I've said this from the beginning, you can look back on the videos. I'm the crypto noob. I don't pay attention a lot, honestly. I'll be honest with you, everybody. I listen to Rags, and that's about it. And outside of that, I'm wondering what CASPA has been doing to get ripped up. What is KASPA? I've been looking on.
Where'd you hear
Bubbles.
about that?
Bubbles.
Oh yeah, crypto bubbles.
Yep.
I've seen that it's been moving for. I mean, if you go to the weekly, dude, yeah, it's ripping. Well, it's not ripping. I mean, it's going up for sure. I don't know anything about it though. No clue.
I didn't either. So like I was just wondering because I've been looking on that like every now and then with Dex Screener. So just interested on takes. But we were talking about juices flowing and dude, freedom and sovereignty get my juices flowing also. And I've told my family, they called me, they're like, hey, how's that cryptocurrency thing going out for you? And I said, I'm riding this to zero or I'm riding this to the fucking moon. And whenever I do, I'm not calling you back. So that's how my life's been.
Zero and the moon.
So can I backtrack real quick?
Please.
You asked about CASPA.
Uh-huh.
So I looked it up. I found their white paper. And you know what the title of the white paper is? Phantom Ghost Dag. Mm-hmm. That should be the name of a band, dude. Phantom Ghost Dag? Are you kidding me?
Let me get
what even is that?
Seriously.
Sounds like a Call of Duty gamer tag.
Phantom Ghost Dag.
Yeah, I played him before.
Right. All right, I'm done. That's all I want to say. Now, what
Oh,
were you
that's it?
saying? I wasn't listening to you at all while you were talking.
It's okay. It's fine. Most people don't. It's fair, dude. It's fair. That's about par for the course. All right. So, anyways, I was just saying, like, I mean, yeah, freedom and sovereignty. Family called me up. They wanted to poke fun again, poke at the bear. If you look back, like episode 6, 5, 4, 3, I don't remember which one it was, but I said, our people that are around us in real life be like, haha, crypto played you. But then they forget about the fact that the entire centralized government is playing them every single fucking day of the week, and it drives me crazy. So I told them I was either riding everything that I own down to zero or up to the moon. And if it goes up to the moon, I ain't talking to him again.
Don't talk to him, man.
I won't.
Don't talk to him.
Dead
I
ass.
would quit talking to him now. That's what I did.
Were
they busting your chops, Quinn? Were they busting your chops for crypto
I don't
at all?
tell anyone anything.
Yeah.
Tell my auntie. Tell me that my auntie didn't call you.
Yeah. It is wild, man. It's wild that they're poking fun at you, but they have absolutely no clue anything they hear on TV about the economy whatsoever. Zero.
You can look at the U.S. dollar chart, and then tell me who got wrecked.
Right.
Yeah, and to add on that, I recently had a member of my family just ask me out of the random blue the other day, "Is cryptocurrency illegal? Like, are you going to get in trouble for any of this?" And I'm like, no. And it's like, okay, like, what makes you think like? And it's really just it's limited information, it's disinformation, and anything like if you get your news source straight from like the local or nightly news, you're going to get lost in the sauce. And right now, I've come to the conclusion, red candles are your new best friend, and we got so many opportunities, staring us right in the face. But eventually, we'll lose the staring game because they won't be there. So it's it's really just amazing times that we're living in. And I think if people had a better understanding of how these market economies, these cycles work, because I saw you were talking in the spaces about Keynesian economics, the Austrian economic model, because I really wanted to deep dive and just kind of understand, like, why do we operate on the system that we have? And it all goes back to theory, ideas of how things should be done. So the more we empower ourselves with education, the better off we'll be. But it's a long-term game, and that's what we have to understand before we get involved with anything, whether it's legacy finance or decentralized finance. You're playing a long-term game.
Okay, Brandon. Thanks for introducing the community to Milton Friedman. He's like the man. It's another one of those Rush Limbaugh connections. He's the one that turned me on to him so long ago. And once you start listening,
makes so much sense.
He really puts pieces together in a way that anyone can understand, and it's entertaining as well. He was a treasure.
Yeah, he. So what David's referring to is, I think on my stream on, was it Friday? We talked about Milton Friedman, and we played a video clip of him talking about socialism and talking about capitalism. So this week, I'm going to actually make the case for socialism. And I want to do it so people can have an understanding of how they both work and stop just hearing all the garbage and just parroting stuff. Let's go understand it. Let's figure it out. And then let people make the, if you like, so I don't like it, but if other people like it, maybe they'll learn more about it. Okay. And they'll become an activist, a socialist activist. Lord help us, but it is what it is.
Hey, but it used to be a big thing here in, like the 1920s through really the beginning of the Second World War after the Nazis invaded the Soviets. But thousands of Americans went and volunteered to serve in the Lincoln Brigades for the communists during the Spanish-American War. So, I mean, it's been there.
Well, here, one of the benefits in terms of socialism and then the corresponding economic systems that go with that, command and control, if you want to go to war, socialism's a great economic system to have if you want to go to war.
Right.
And that's
Because it's rations.
well, it's and you have to make decisions really, really fast, and you have to allocate resources very, very quickly. The hard thing to do is to set up the system in such a way where the market makes those decisions. If you have one or two people that have the power to do it, it's a whole lot faster and easier in terms of war to be able to take those dollars and allocate them exactly where you want them to go. And you got to understand that, you know, time is money and time is power and time is winning the war or not. So I think that what you've seen through a majority of the 20th century and heading now into the 21st century is socialist economic policies have worked so well for the United States because we have been a military industrial complex. And all of that money has been going to really waging war. And that's the unfortunate thing about it. So it's been very convenient. And in the process, a whole system has been built on top of that. A whole banking system's been built on top of that. And we are addicted to inflation like heroin now. And it's going to be extremely difficult to back that off. What say you, David Lee?
You know, to highlight the example how quick you can and drastically, I was just thinking of the contrast. At the beginning of the Second World War, the Soviets picked up all their manufacturing and they moved it east of the Ural Mountains. Can you imagine if in the United States you tried to have done such a thing? You know, you're talking about going up against like iconic sized corporations like Kaiser and, you know, just you couldn't have done it. By the time you could have done it, the Germans would have already overran you, where the Soviets. So yeah, it's an interesting idea of how those systems grew. And you're dead on about the military industrial complex. Really, since that time period, when have we not been at war or in a national emergency? You know, for like 80 years now, right? It's crazy when you think about it, how much money, and you look at some of the development, the technological development in addition that went along with that, especially post-World War II. Well, even during the Second World War, right? You start with biplanes and you end with jet fighters. That's some crazy shit.
It is crazy. Your mic's off. Your mic's off, brother.
War brings about a lot of technological advances. Okay, and everybody knows that. So that's one, I guess, positive byproduct, or it can be positive or negative. But it kind of forces that issue. How many things have we learned about that we wouldn't have if we hadn't had war in the 20th century as much as we had? I don't know.
It can be, but it leads to those black budgets too, right?
Right.
What happened with Venezuela? Didn't they try this out?
In terms of their economy?
Correct.
Yeah, it's a command and control centralized economy that uses coercion and market manipulation to get what they want instead of using the free market. Yeah, and
that sounds familiar.
It's horrible.
They've nuked like 70 or 80% of their petroleum output after they nationalized it. Before, you know, like Sunoco was there, and it was all ran by international companies, and they were pumping out the oil. And yeah, they were like in the top 5, and they're still like high, but it's what they've done with nationalization down there. It's like most of the things with socialist systems. You have an elite that's just smaller that benefits, and it's a heartless system that doesn't recognize the suffering of the individual.
I'm excited for that, man. I think it'll be good to hear because I know a lot of people.
I want to see him spin it.
Yeah, I definitely know a lot of people in my day-to-day life who are like pro, right? Like pro that. I ain't even gonna say it again. Like pro that particular movement and mentality. And like, I mean, I am still like, I think that capitalism works in a defined group of people who want to best themselves as well as others. So, I mean, I'm interested to hear it. I'm interested to have it as a point of reference to send other people to, and I'll send them to both because I think that that's just like good knowledge for someone who is one way or the other, or maybe in between, to sort an opinion out.
It's crazy, man. Like when you really get into, you can go on YouTube and just Google socialism versus capitalism. And you got to go back quite a while to find a debate where people aren't trying to insult each other and punch each other in the face. But once you get back to those sorts of debates, man, it's just like everything. The socialism is the antithesis of freedom and sovereignty. And that's because they don't allow you to make your own decisions with your money and then have those decisions play out. Instead, they have to raise interest rates to get what they want out of the economy. So it's a top-down approach instead of from a bottom-up approach, where I am totally and 100% responsible for myself as an individual. And I make my own decisions with my money. And whatever happens as a result of those decisions happens to me, and I have full accountability of that. Socialism doesn't work that way at all. They don't see you as an individual. They see you as a collective. And then they don't think that you have the ability to make the right decisions for your money. So they're going to make the decisions for your money instead of you. And even like simple things like, there's socialist countries right now. Let's say you're a doctor. I don't know if you guys knew this, but you can only work 8 months out of the year. They give you a quota. Some bureaucrat behind closed doors says, okay, this person is only allowed to see X amount of customers per year, or they're only allowed to make X amount per year. And then after 6 or 8 months, you have to stop working. You can't make any more money than that. Why? It's because they've got some algorithm or they got some equation somewhere that says the medical industry can only do X, Y, Z. Is that freedom? Is that freedom to go better your life the way that you want to? No. If you work past that, you go to jail. How is that freedom? How is that sovereignty? It's not. So freedom and sovereignty sounds really kooky to people who don't understand that those words actually hold something and they maintain something. And you don't know that really in our society yet, because it hasn't got bad enough yet to where people are pushing back. It's going to get bad. I mean, what's going to stop it from getting bad? The trajectory is there already. So cool stuff, man. We just need to keep talking about it, I think.
Yeah. And, one of the things when it comes to socialism is, I can wrap it up real quick, leads to communism. And you can vote your way into it, but you got to shoot your way out of it, which is what usually results. And
yeah, look at the result. Look at the result of all of these countries. Cambodia and China and Vietnam and Cuba and Venezuela and Stalinist Russia. And they'll say, oh, Stalinism isn't real communism or isn't real socialism. But what's the result of all of these things? And how can they just put their blinders on? They put their blinders on because it's really, really cool for centralized control. It's really, really cool for a government to adopt socialism, especially if they're corrupt, because then they can become rich and wealthy. And then all their Wall Street friends can become rich and wealthy. And Keynesian economics lines up very, very well with centralized command and control over the economy. So it all just, it works together, and it's brutal. It's brutal, man, because we could have this for another 100, 200 years before people break out of it. Or,
get liberated.
Correct. Money is the reason why countries split up and they go their separate ways. Because they have ideological and fundamental differences that can't be solved. One side wants to do this, the other side wants to do this, and that's why you have new countries that form. What's Matt says, or not Matt, Daniel Miller's book, he talks about pre-World War, 49 countries, post-World War. What are we up to now, 199 countries? Okay, how do we think that happened? Did people just wake up one day and said, "Oh, we're going to be a new country"? No, there's fundamental differences in the way people act and believe and values. And you want to be around those people. You want to be away from the people that don't share your own values. So that's what happens in the world. It's always happened, and it's nothing new, by the way. Nothing new at all.
Right. And just want to be respectful of everyone's time. We are at an hour and 10 minutes. Does anyone here have any closing thoughts? Anything you'd like to wrap up before we sign off for the night?
Robert, I heard shower water in the background. I think it was from one of your prisoners. So make sure that they shut the door next time. That was earlier, like 10 minutes ago.
They're not allowed to take showers. They're not worth the water. And
Robert likes them dirty.
You can smell me before you see me.
Quinn, down, Quinn, down.
At least you didn't go riding dirty.
Well, you just throw lime on them to cover up the smell.
Oh Lord!
Like the fruit?
Yeah, like the powder.
Yeah, okay. I got. Oh, okay. I got
Like
you.
Shawshank Redemption.
Throw some limes on him. Throw some
It's
on
just
there.
he's like a Corona. Like let's put a little bit of this on this Tecate right here. No, I mean if I have to say anything, yeah, I've been gone for a little while, but I'll be back. But I think that we're going to do this in a little bit of a different format. I'm planning on uploading some videos on down the line that are recorded and more like articulated in form of something that we can share amongst our social cliques and stuff for the TEXAN Tailgate, and also to shed light on DeFi and stuff. That's a little bit more like structured. I'll be here as much as possible. I've been working 2 gigs, so just grinding into DCA, just like most of the folks who generally turn into our channels. So I'm living the life with you in the streets. Let's get it going. I love everybody here. That isn't changed. That isn't going to change.
Love it.
Yeah, I love you, Forrest.
Yeah,
Hey, next week SJ is going to be on. Is there anything we should ask her about, Brandon?
Is she really wild?
Ask her about Brandon.
Yeah.
How come she knows so much about him?
I hung out with her. I hung out with her this weekend. Her
Okay.
and RG3 and really, I mean, I've hung out with SJ quite a bit, man. I mean, she's every party in Vegas and this and that. SJ's cool. I got to go check her. I got to check her bus out. That thing's wild, dude.
Oh, that's cool.
It's pretty cool, man. It's got a freezer inside. It's got a split unit AC going on. It's got like Sidewinder cruise missiles. It's crazy, dude. ICBMs in the back, so it's great.
Dope.
Well, you need those nowadays, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know. We so it was me and Black Hexkin, and her daughter was there, and then RG3 and one of his buddies, and she gave us the tour. Pretty cool stuff.
Nice.
Awesome, man.
Sweet. Robert, thank you. Hey, this was a blast, you guys. And everyone in the chat, thanks for showing. This was a good time. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Yep.
Thank you everyone for joining, and thank you to the audience for being here as always.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So we will go ahead and start to wrap things up. This has been episode 22. And DeFi is what will truly unchain the captives. And just remember the times that we have, we don't have much longer left here in the bear market. So just focus on the positives and be thankful for what we have and one another. And we will see you next Sunday. Have a good night. Thank you, everyone.